Now, John and Ashley, I know you're excited. You've been excited for this moment, actually, in some ways for years. Even before you got married, you were already talking about this moment. You were loving John Paul long before he was conceived. And now, here he is, ready to be baptized. Just 2 months ago, they brought John Paul back home after he was born. And now 2 months later, they bring him home to this church. John Paul was greeted by his cousins, and now he's being greeted by his new brothers and sisters, united in Christ through baptism. That's what it's all about today. And I want to talk for a few minutes about the responsibilities of being parents and godparents and community, based upon what we just heard. The love that you two share with each other is poured out upon John Paul. And little Jack is going to love that. And he's going to grow up in that love, not only from you and from his godparents and cousins, but his grandparents. They're going to love him into life, and that's our responsibility too as his brothers and sisters in Christ, to love him into life. Whew. So, I'm going to need the children to come forward to help me out. So if I can have all the kids come on down. And if you wouldn't mind just kind of sitting around here, and I'm going to sit down with you as we all get settled. And we're going to talk about what makes good teachers, because that's what we're all going to be. So come on and sit down. It's okay if you're a little shy. You don't need to come. Now raise your hand if you are related to Jack. Okay? Yeah, we've got 4 cousins here. We've got the cousins here. And in a few minutes, we're all going to raise our hands because we're going to be related to Jack through baptism. We're going to be brothers and sisters for him. So that's pretty neat. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. And if you know the answer, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay? So, how many of you have a favorite teacher? Wow. What's the name of your favorite teacher? Mom. Well done. She kind of went right to where I was going to go anyway, so that's great. Favorite?
My parents.
Your parents. Yeah, that's wonderful. Mrs. Cratley. All right. Well, there's a lot of really good teachers, but you're right. Our parents are our best teachers. And that's what the power kids here are going to be doing pretty soon. They are the teachers of their little son, Jack. My mom and dad were my best teachers too, my favorite teachers. My dad taught me how to use tools, and he taught me responsibility. And he taught me the Bible. And my mom taught me how to cook. My mom taught me how to welcome everyone. And my mom also taught me just how to love unconditionally. So what have your moms and dads taught you? What's your mom and dad taught you? You can come back to, okay?
My mom has taught me that I should always be nice to people and welcome them.
Always be nice to people and welcome them. That's a great lesson.
My mom told me, she told me
How to make sure your bed's made and how to be neat with it. Stay away from fire. That's always a good one. That's a really good one. To say thank you. And to do chores. Yeah, chores are good things. That's okay. All right. So moms and dads are the best teachers. They're supposed to be our best teachers. And one of the things moms and dads teach us is about Jesus. But guess what? We get to be teachers as well. We get to teach Jack how to look toward God and Jesus and how to love Jesus. And the best way we can show them how to love Jesus is by loving God and by loving.
And also by praying every day and showing love for God.
Praying every day and showing love for God, and by loving By loving Jesus and Mother Mary, and by loving other people. By loving other people. Loving Joseph too. Joseph and Mary, Mother Mary, and other people. You see, everybody listen real close, because Jesus today was kind of disappointed with the teachers, wasn't he? He was disappointed with them because they were more concerned about rules than they were about people. Now, how many of you have parents who give you rules? Okay, but don't your parents love you more than they love the rules? Absolutely. Yes, indeed. They love you more than the rules. And Jesus was worried because these people were more concerned about what they looked like than how they acted. So our job of being little Jack's parents and brothers and sisters is to love him. We're going to set rules, but the rules are not more important than Jack. Jack is going to be the most important thing in our lives. He's going to be one of our brothers and sisters. And because we're all older than Jack, Jack's just 2 months old. Just 2 months old. Because we're all older than Jack, our job is going to be to love him. And to love him to new life and to show him Jesus. Just like you love your brother, just like you love each other, we get to love Jack and bring him to that new life. So would you raise your hand if you are willing to help love Jack? Raise your hand if you're willing to help love Jack. Mom's got her hand. Up she goes. So that's going to be what we're going to do here today. We're going to love Jack, and we're going to bring him to the waters of baptism. And eventually he's going to go from the waters of baptism, he's going to go to the altar for communion, he's going to be confirmed, he's going to become someday a teacher too, just like you. A teacher of Jesus' love.